Now that it's been a couple of days since the synagogue shooting, let me take issue with something that's been going around social media. Now, the shooter himself, the anti Semite, used a social media platform called Gab, which is basically a clone of Twitter, where they say anybody is free to say whatever they want and everybody is welcome. Well, what happened was this guy spewed a bunch of anti Semitic garbage, and then as a result became radicalized by other pieces of anti Semitic garbage, and then went out and shot up a mosque because he believed in some kind of ridiculous conspiracy theory as herder of the Jews taken over. Okay, so a lot of hatred was thrown at Gab for allowing this kind of hate speech to flourish and radicalizing this individual. And as a result of it, PayPal has cut off Gab from their service, and people are saying, "Well, he also posted on Facebook, so why don't they cut off Facebook too?" If Gab is responsible, then so is Facebook, according to them. Well, you see, here's the difference. One, aside from the fact that Facebook wields a great deal more economic power than some small social media site like Gab, let me explain the other difference. Facebook is pretty good at removing anti Semitic nonsense. Not really so good at removing hate speech against Palestinians, but nonetheless, they're pretty good at getting rid of anti Semitism. Now, Gab allows that to happen. So you have a social media platform that is allowing hate speech, and that hate speech snowballs and encourages people who have this irrational hatred, who then go out and commit a mass shooting. So there's a difference between a media platform that allowed the speech to go on and one that doesn't allow it to go on. When you allow hate speech, this is what happens. That's why there are hate speech laws. That's why hate speech isn't allowed. I mean, this is really very, very obvious. And a lot of people are now pushing the line, yeah, well, if we allow them to censor hate speech, they're going to censor us next. Okay, so essentially allow the Nazis to continue to spew propaganda, encouraging actions like the guy who shot up the synagogue, or else they're going to do it to us next. Well, let me explain something to you. Aside the fact that that's essentially enabling Nazis, they are going to censor us anyway. And they're not going to censor us because it's okay to censor them. They're going to censor us because we oppose the system and want to stop what they're doing that's profitable for them. They censor the Nazis because what they're doing is just leading to mass killings. These are two different things, two different reasons, and two different reasons why there's going to be censorship. Stop trying to conflate the two, that if you allow it to happen to Alex Jones, then it's going to happen to other people as well. Now, I've noticed that I cannot post a link to my own website on Facebook because Facebook now considers it to be a suspicious link. Right. Now, of course, this is a form of censorship against me and my website. But in no way can you compare me to Alex Jones. If I put a post which was criticizing U.S. foreign policy towards the DPRK as being pro-war and imperialist, that's totally the same thing as Alex Jones going around harassing, doxing, and even in some cases threatening the parents of children who were killed in mass shootings because he was calling them crisis actors. If you think these two are the same thing and they should both be allowed, you're kind of a piece of shit. You kind of really are. So don't sit here and tell me how, oh, well, there's a big mass censorship of pages that were anti-establishment, things that question the status quo, and this happened because we didn't throw ourselves on the sacrificial altar of Alex Jones. Please don't even try to push that kind of goddamn nonsense. This is not a slippery slope, and it's not even a slippery slope fallacy. It's two different reasons for the same thing being done to two different groups of people. Censoring someone who's pointing out how corporate power is abusing people is not the same thing as censoring a Nazi for calling for the killings of Jews. If you really think both of those things should be protected, I think you really need to reevaluate your priorities when it comes to free speech. Because as should be fairly obvious, no one really believes in free speech. There's next to no one who really believes in it. Everybody believes that it should be censored to some degree. And if you think no speech should ever be censored, ever, you're either a psychopath or a liar. Because, of course, certain hate speech should be banned. Certain types, including child pornography, should be banned. And if you think those things should be allowed, you are, yes, once again, a piece of shit. So please stop all this. Yeah, well, it's not fair that they do it to Gab, but they don't do it to Facebook. Now, Gab deliberately and maliciously let hate speech flourish that led to a mass shooting in the U.S. Rightfully criticize Facebook for allowing anti-Palestinian hate speech to flourish, and even censoring criticisms of Saudi Arabia for the killings of people who, quite frankly, literally didn't do anything. So please try not to conflate the two, because it's completely ridiculous. And not only that, it makes us look like a bunch of fucking hypocrites.
Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.